Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to run through the actual loading and run through the gear that I've got picked for the camp that I'm going to do in the next couple of days. So previously I've run through a couple of videos of how I attach it all to the bike, and I've gone through another video showing the top 20 most essential pieces of equipment, and the last video I did was running through top tips in general for how to plan for your camp. So I thought I'd take it the next step and actually run through what I take, how I pack it, how it all comes together on an actual camp. So we'll stick around for that and we'll bring you back in a second. Before I get started into packing the bike up, the first thing I always do is spend a good 10-15 minutes putting together a list of absolutely everything that I think I'm going to need, make sure I've bought it, and then when it comes back to packing up in the garage, I know I've got everything I need, and basically I know I've got to somehow fit everything on this list into the bike. If I achieve that, then it's job done. Now that we know we've got everything we need for the upcoming camp, the next step is to attach the panniers to the bike. In my case, I don't have an adventure bike, so I have these quick release panniers, but these work absolutely spot on. So let's get stuck in and get them straight on the bike. Almost forgot to attach them. I've got to take off the rear cowl, which in itself, very quick job. And then attach the pillion seat. Job done. One really quick point. I've had a few people asking, fellow 765 RS owners, if the SW Moto panniers cause any problems with the indicators, and the answer is no. I'll show you. There's the clearance on that side, there's the clearance on here. Now the last step to connect these to the bike is just two clips, one either side, and just push them together, and the same on the other side. Not that you can see what I'm doing, but at least you can gauge just how handy these are. Now the bike's set up and ready for loading, it's time to get back to the list, start picking the items from the shelves, and what I tend to do is I'll just lay them all out here on the bench, and I can start and visualise how much space I need and what order I'm going to pack them in. Tent, table, we've got the chair, and we've got the ground sheet, pillow, and the airbed. The next item on the list is the sleeping bag, and when I find it, the camping stove, and a spare tin of gas. Next on the list, trusty cup, the cutlery set. Next on the list is a torch and battery packs, so you get those marked off the list. The next essential items: piss bottle, never leave home without one of them, a hanging light, and a hammer for the tent pegs, and our bag of toiletries and washing up gear. So in terms of the list, we're about halfway through, but it's mostly smaller items left. So we are looking for waterproof clothes. So I've got waterproof tops, waterproof top, waterproof bottom, and I've got a hat with a little light on, and spare pants and socks. So I managed to squeeze all of that in that little bag. That's very handy. And before I forget, I've got the tank bag to put on the bike, which gives us a valuable extra little bit of space. The only things I've got left to pack is what you can see out here, so I'll give you a closer look. Something to have for tea with a couple of Warburton's buns, always take Warburton's. Some beans and sausages for in the morning, a bottle of Coke, an empty bottle which is just for filling up with water, for drinking water or using on the stove, some coffee, tin opener just in case, and a collection of wires for charging. I've now got everything laid out. So as you can see behind us, all the way across here is everything I'm going to need for the camp. The only things I haven't packed so far, which is still in the fridge, is the beers and the camera equipment. But I'll probably put them in a backpack or just find little spaces once everything's already packed away. In terms of the panniers, I generally put the lightest stuff in here. I always try and spread the weight and pack it as efficiently as possible. That's not to say that's actually what I'm going to do, but I always set out to try that. So I'm going to start off by putting the sleeping bag in on one side. Then on the opposite side, we've got the airbed, the ground sheet and the pillow, toiletries and washing equipment, dry clothes, and we've got the camping stove and gas, some cutlery, pea bottle. I didn't mention this earlier, but this is just the windbreaker for the gas stove. Got some more cutlery, a torch, the hammer, which I always try and remember to pack at the top so it's easy to get out when I need it. Put the tent up. There's the hanging light. So here's a closer look at the panniers now that they're loaded. I don't think I'm going to get any more in either of those now. And what's left is going to be what you can see here, which I'm going to have to try and get in the roll bag. Now it is forecast to be glorious sunshine when I go camping, but I always still use these waterproof inserts because with British weather you never know what it's going to throw at you, and I'd rather keep everything I've got dry. It is worth pointing out as well with these, don't know how well you can see from this shot, but you can actually open the sides up as well and get a bit more space, but I don't think I'm going to need that for this camp. If I was going for another day or two I might have been more tempted. That's them done. So this is the Krieger roll bag, and this just attaches with a couple of little plastic clips and hooks. It's 4 of them, so you can connect it and disconnect it in under a minute, so very handy. But what I'm going to do now is grab all the stuff off the bench, I'll line it up on top of the roll bag to see roughly how it's all going to fit together. So we've got the tent, we've got the chair, and I actually think in this occasion, oh hello monkey, I don't think I'm going to bring the table because I'm only going for one night. So I think I'll save the space for something else. I've got the bread buns, some wires, charging banks, and I think that's really all I need to put in the roll bag because I'm probably going to take the backpack so I can put me camera and charging gear in there, and then just before I set off I'll put the beer in the backpack to keep it in the fridge as long as possible. And are you going to give us a hand, monkey? And that's everything in the roll bag. Next step is to fasten the roll bag, and you just got to roll up the edges, or the ends rather, fasten the little clip, and do the same on this side. And just roll it up as much as you can. Clip it together and fasten the plastic clip on the top, and just again tighten this side. The OCD tries to get it even on both sides, but I haven't fully tightened that, but you can already see it's shrunk quite a bit in size. Right, let's get it loaded on the bike. Just sits on top of the pillion seat, and if you can see, just a little gap between each pannier. All you've got to do is put a clip in each corner, tighten that, and then there's one last one in this corner. I'll just go around tightening them. And then all I've got to do is fold these up, strap them out the way, and that's it. Everything that you've seen as mentioned, everything I've gone through in the list that I started with, is all in these 2 panniers, in the roll bag. I've only got a few bits and pieces left to put in the backpack, and then this is me for my camp. And just before we go for the day, what I didn't mention is in here I'll put the side stuck pand. I always say that. Side puck stand, some cash, and then I'll have the phone on the quad lock mount. And that literally is everything that I'll be taking on the camp. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful. Where I think this video has a difference, not only am I running through everything you need for a camp and loosely how you pack it, but I'll also be taking the next step in the next video and taking all this out as it currently is on the bike right now and going on a camp. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.